Wow, I knew the January update for Halo Infinite was gonna be inadequate, as I made clear in my last news video, but 343 took it a step further. The microtransactions are atrocious, we have to talk about them, and I bet some of you don't even realize what's happening. Before we do though, let's quickly knock out the good stuff right away, because if I'm gonna be honest, I can't leave anything out. In this update, a new arena multiplayer map called Illusion was added, shoulder pads can now be used on any armor core, HCS Year 1 armor and weapon kits have been unkitted and can now be equipped separately, Forge mode received some improvements and new objects, quality of life improvements have been implemented, the Bandit Evo no longer has bloom making it fire more consistently, and lastly the update brought the Mark IV armor core along with more armor pieces. I'm not going to go in depth with each of those, and honestly there's not much more to go over with them. What I'd like to discuss is the glaring emphasis on cosmetics. The biggest selling point this update has is the arrival of nostalgic armor. Forget the new map I guess, the Mark IV armor core was and still is being hyped up by 343 and is getting some people hooked. It's free for all players, but it serves to replace other content. That's not all though. 343 looked at other Halo Wars Spartans and ended up bringing in a few more armor sets from old concept art. There's just one thing. These are all locked behind paywalls in the shop, and not cheap ones. The armor of the 3 Omega Team Spartans are bundled at the cost of 3,800 credits, which is about $38 US or 60 Australian dollars, over half the price of a AAA title. It's absurd. They're also selling the armor sets separately from the bundle at 1,800 credits or 18 US dollars a set, which would add up to 54 US dollars for all three. $16 more than the bundle. But wait, there's more! They're selling a bundle with the Stanchion sniper weapon model for another 1,800 credits, vehicle skins for 300 credits, another armor set called Isidore for 2,000 credits, the Ulrich armor set for 1,800 credits, the Zacharias armor set for 1,600, the Wilhelm set for 1,800, and the Ypsilon armor set for 1,800 credits. To cap this off, they threw in an armor coating called Cedar Mud for 600 credits, and today there's another armor set called Lechuza for 1,200 credits. Oh, and of course there's a boost and a swap pack for 200 credits. So that's the entire shop for you. If someone wants to get all of the armor sets in there, it'll cost over 120 US dollars. To reiterate, that's 8 armor sets for $128. Which is more than the price of 2 entire games. That's just ridiculous. It's not like these armors are super special either or anything out of the ordinary, they're all just pretty stereotypical Halo armor. A ton of people will end up buying them though, and not just to look cool, but because they're timed exclusives and they don't want to miss out. The stress around armor in this game is way too much. I haven't even mentioned the battle passes or operation passes, which is what are essentially replacing seasons. For those who don't know, you can equip a pass for free, but only during the first couple weeks it arrives. After that, you'll have to pay $5 to $10 just to have access to it. But they even let you pay for levels in the pass for up to almost $30. What a bargain! Looking at their current operation, Spirit of Fire, which is the event for this update, we can see there's not much in there and barely any armor, the main thing they hyped up. Leveling up this pass is the only way to earn the armor without paying. And as someone pointed out online, only 7 pieces of all the 59 Mark IV armor pieces are unlockable via gameplay. 52 are locked behind the store, so 89% of the armor that this update's all about must be paid for. Is this not egregious? They can hardly be considered microtransactions with their pricing, they're macro transactions. How about the fact that they're also selling brand new armor coatings and weapon skins for their HCS teams this year, on top of their older variants? They may look nice, but they cost $10 to $15 a pop. Just look at them all! Hundreds of dollars right there! No wonder why they've been putting so much effort into the competitive scene. All of this focus on cosmetics creates the notion that players need to appreciate it and buy into the hype, no matter the cost. I mean, just look at how many times people have shown off their Spartan. It's never ending. The obsession with Spartan drip and showing off how cool your Spartan looks is a systemic problem in Halo Infinite. I'm not saying it's wrong to enjoy Spartan armor and customizing how you look in-game, that itself isn't the problem. What is the problem though is the method of which you do that. Customization as a whole has changed. We used to be able to unlock armor for free, so no matter how much money you had and would be willing to pay, you could wear whatever armor you saw, you just had to earn it. Showing off your Spartan back then actually meant something. Armor had value in the story behind it, beyond just lore. On top of that, it wasn't the main focus in the game. Gameplay was, fun was. Now, it's all about that Spartan drip and how cool your weapons look. This wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't preyed upon, but it is. 343 and Microsoft have taken the predatorial approach to player customization, making it a top priority to milk players' time and money. They've got to make money somehow though, sure. Halo Infinite is a free-to-play live service game. That doesn't excuse all that they've done though. Their pricing on the shop items is aggressive, and this has been a recurring theme since the game came out in 2021. There have been uproars again and again, but those will only do so much because they know people will still spend money, like all talk but no bite. They'll charge unreasonable prices as much as they can and see what they can get away with before their data shows suboptimal profits. Halo Infinite lives to prey on consumers like other live service games. Oh, but people buying cosmetics is what keeps the game free. Yeah, and it's also what keeps the game from getting better. The game's primary goal is to constantly get money from players. Content is secondary at best. And with a lack of content, it's easier to pass off cosmetics as valuable elements in a game. The sideshow becomes the main event, and the appetizer becomes the main course. To me, this is very obvious. There's been a detrimental drop in quality and content in favor of making money off gullible gamers and reckless spenders. Developers might be capable of making decent content, but they can do the bare minimum to retain player interest, and they get away with it because people are too forgiving and have too much hope. People assume that those behind their favorite franchises all have good intentions and serve your best interests. Well, I'm sorry to say, but this is almost never true for corporate companies like 343 and Microsoft. They're in it for their own benefit, not yours. Spend your money how you want, but don't be stupid about it. What you buy influences a whole pipeline of a company's decisions, so think before you spend. That's all I've got to say for this video, but I hope I gave you a good perspective. I know some people don't like hearing it, but unfortunately, it's how reality is, and it's just gotta be said. I wish having a view like this wasn't so controversial and bold. If more people were honest and acknowledged the bad stuff, and didn't just act like everything is fine, and just label the people who call out this behavior as toxic. Even though being overly positive is toxic and even worse many times, things would probably be a lot better, to be honest. It is what it is though, and fans will be fans. Anyway, if you'd like to see more of this content, be sure to let me know and subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd really appreciate it. I'm also on Twitter or X, so feel free to follow me there at LBBubba. Keep it real and take care, people. Peace.